Dig deep, Casey. Be a pansy.
Seriously.
Something like that.
It's true, though.
But
How was your night's rest?
Amazing.
They're going to say, did you see Julie McQueen? She was hammered. When she gets drunk, she looks like a dude.
Like, it looks like it's
Come on,
unlocked.
Aron. You can figure it out.
I'll come across Brent and smack the shit out of you after I stretch.
We are very blessed today to have our special guest, Miss Julie McQueen. Say hi, Julie.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
That's probably better.
Yeah, it's better.
Did you say it was Viagra gave you a heart attack?
It gave me a first heart attack when I was
first
21.
All right. Well,
Whatever. Anyway.
One does not simply walk into Mordor.
I am very system, and it was the Cialis that got me at 28.
nobody says Louisville, man.
That's right. Thank you, Sean.
You know, and I'm looking right here. I see a bunch of positive people.
it looks like the Mountain Ops booth is the place to be.
Yeah, seriously.
You know?
One of us is going to die. And he loops like a... It's like a shiitake mushroom. Things like
This old highway's getting longer. I was self-taught, yeah.
Hey, you're one of those people that piss me off.
I think Bowman cast.
I know. Seriously.
Bowman podcast.
It's like when there's carbon in the air, there's hope.
You're like really close to my comfort zone here, though. I'll take that as a compliment.
Often.
Hey, everybody. Daniel Lee Martin here with Julie McQueen and the Gritty Bowmen and his baby brother.
This is Cameron Haynes, and you're watching the Gritty Bowmen.
I'm Brandon Bates. He's Easton Corbett. You're listening to the Gritty Bowmen Show.
What he said.
This is Wishes for Warriors, and you're watching the Gritty Bowmen Show.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, I'm Eva Shockey, and you are listening to the Gritty Bowmen.
That's why, Aaron, I edit you. But it was just up for a day.
Yeah, 24 hours.
24 hours. And whatever you sold, once you sold out of a size
That's
or a
it.
color, it was
We're
gone.
done.
I'm like, it's like $400. And then I get on CamoFire and it's like $150 for 15 minutes only. I'm like, putting it in my cart and trying to pay for it.
Maybe a first-year pack brand comes in to try and play with that. You got a lot of learning to do
Got
in
a
a
lot
very
of-
short period of time.
All you got to
A
do
lot
is
of
put that
broken
pack on
carbon
with
frames.
Yeah.
a lot of what, Aaron?
Broken carbon frames is what you got.
I don't know. I threw it off the I cliff tested it.
CamoFire getting poor people into the wilderness since 2007.
If you like the show, please go to our website at grittybowmen.com and subscribe to this podcast and tell your mates and pals about us. Do us a favour and please take a moment to leave us a rating or a review on iTunes or on our YouTube channel. Send your questions and podcast ideas to grittybowmen@gmail.com. If you're listening to this on iTunes, you can see the video version of this podcast on our website at www.grittybowmen.com.
Okay. All right, folks. Welcome to the Gritty Bowmen podcast. I'm here with Kendall Card of CamoFire, one of my personal, what do you call it? Like gear getting adventures. I mean, like you guys, CamoFire have been using CamoFire since its inception, basically.
Yeah, you were early on. I've looked up your customer number.
Yeah, dude, I was on that, and it was like Anthony texted me one day. He's like, "Have you seen this CamoFire thing?" I'm like, "No," and he's like, "Man, dude, like, there's a deal right now." And then we would like all day long. It was like CamoFire was our addiction. We were always looking for.
I believe the tripod holding the camera filming this came from CamoFire.
That does look like
It
a
did.
CamoFire model.
It absolutely did. Are we on record? Yeah, for like 5 minutes. All right, sweet. So we'll get an introduction here.
Yeah.
The next one we have here is Andrew Jakovac. Jakovic.
Let's murder it. Come on, guys.
Jakovac.
Chewbacca?
Jakovac.
Was that a chimichanga in there, too?
Jar Jar?
With Mystery Ranch.
How do you pronounce that, just so everyone knows? Because I'm not sure I got it down.
It's Jakovac.
Jakovac.
Yep.
It's so easy to say it after he says it. Jakovac.
Jakovac.
Just don't look at it.
That sounds like a
For
bread.
real.
Like toast.
Yeah.
Honey, make me some Jakovac.
Don't.
Kind of a coffee.
Well, don't talk to your wife about that, Aaron.
And then here we have Aron Snyder. Everybody probably knows Aron by now. So tell us about CamoFire, Kendall.
Yeah, so we're it started really as an idea my buddy had, Mark, and my initial reaction, honestly, was because I'd worked in the ski industry and then in the outdoor industry. I was working at backcountry.com, and he was like, "Hey, man, I got this idea.
Yeah.
Let's do, sell one item a day to hunters." And I was like, see, that's kind of...
At first,
I
thought
that's not going to work,
kind of
man.
stupid.
I was like...
One item a day to hunters.
I am like, dude, that's not going to work. I'm like, but I got a better idea. Let's start this other business. And he's like, okay, that's cool, whatever. And it kind of settled in. And about 3 days later, I called him back and said, hey, are you still going to do that hunting idea? Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, man, I already got 4 other guys. And I'm like, oh, dude, I almost missed the boat. I'm like, I'm in. And and that was the start of about a year and a half of we went through some...
Dude, you had some killer prices. Like, I'd want to buy the new Sitka jacket. And I'm like, it's like $400. And then I get on CamoFire, and it's like $150 for 15 minutes only. I'm like, putting it in my cart and trying to pay for it.
It was pretty wild. We started in our basement, my buddy's basement. I took about $5,000 from a tax return. We bought about 10 boxes of stuff in this little room, and we were seriously looking at it going, how are we going to get rid of
the one
all this
item
crap?
a day selection wasn't large at first.
No.
It was a lot of the same companies, too, it seemed like.
And we were scratching. I mean, a lot of these guys in this room.
How'd you feel when you first, sold, an entire inventory of, I don't know, socks that you bought at,
Oh. Dude, we were high-fiving. I'll tell you what, the first sellout day, let me just say, this is how it was a scrape and struggle, right? Guys look at our operation now, and they look at our warehouse and our store in Salt Lake. They're like, man, I had this idea. This would have been a killer. You guys are rolling. And we're like, dude, we were in the basement. Mark would call me and say, hey, Kendall, where's that Sitka base layer summit pant in large? And I'm like, okay, it's over by the couch in that second box underneath the kid's Xbox. I mean, it was that kind of over by the treadmill. Yeah, tell Summer to not run over that box when she's running on the treadmill.
You guys are pros,
dude,
man.
Our first sellout day was actually a Gerber knife that my dad picked up at the Gerber factory because I'm from Oregon.
Yeah.
Sent it to us. I'm like, dude, I don't really like this knife. Let's put it on CamoFire. We had one. It sold out around 10 a.m. Dude, friends are calling, you guys sold out. You were rocking. Business is booming. We were high-fiving. Our first order was a gal that I was working with at a ski company, and she placed the very first order, and she's like, man, that was great. I wish you guys success, and free shipping's killer. And we're like, oh, dude, the shipping module's not working. I mean, so it was pretty...
Just lost our income there.
Yeah, it was pretty humble beginnings. But we moved the first time we, FedEx pulled up with 15 pallets in Mark's driveway, his wife's like, all right, boys, this is
real. This is getting real.
Get out of the garage, get out of the basement. She was awesome. She put up with us for such a long time. But we moved to a warehouse and another warehouse.
And for those who don't know, explain the concept a little more. It's basically you have an item that you put up for sale at a very discounted price, and it's just available for so many. Like it used to be in the beginning, it was correct me if I'm wrong, but it was just up for a day.
Yeah, 24 hours.
24 hours. And whatever you sold, once you sold out of a size or a color, it was gone.
I remember getting on. They only have triple XLs.
Which
Who
happened
can I have
a lot.
Sew this down. I'm thinking, I can find some Asian lady that knows how to sew.
You got an entire factory right there, Aaron.
We're good, yeah. Well, this was before then. Otherwise, I would have been good.
We're just employing sewers around America.
Yeah.
There you go.
That was awesome. I would buy stuff all the time that didn't fit because it was just so dang cheap.
Dude.
So I'm walking around in a jacket that's a double XL. I made it work.
I've got one of my favorite.
It was waterproof.
Hunting partners comes in and is like, "Hey, I need to size down some of these pants I got off CamoFire." And I'm like, "What are you talking about, David? Seriously? Why don't you just buy the right size?" No. they were super cheap.
Yeah,
and I got them at 3XL. Can we work on this? I'm like, how much time do we have? God, okay, yeah,
No,
here we
it's
go.
true.
Nah, it's good.
Absolutely.
So we started out as 1 item a day, and then stuff started selling out. Like noon, I'm going, dude, we're sold out, killer. And, we high-five each other for a little while and then go to our real jobs. And then we were like, man, maybe we should do it. And people started asking, put up more stuff. So we started figuring, okay, let's do back-to-back items. And then now we show 7 items a day, 6 normal items, 1's on the burn. And then, so we probably show.
And they just go to CamoFire.com. You guys have an app. You can download the app. And it's just fun too when you're getting notifications throughout the day and you see some deal and you're like, oh, I got this is like they're practically giving it away for free. I got to go buy this.
Was it 2007?
Yeah, 2007 was when we first put it together.
Mountain mimicry for Sitka. I remember you.
That's what I got too.
And I mean now, get in a position. Stuff just shows up, you get to test it, you don't have to buy it. But at that time, I was working construction, and I'm like, come on, don't let me down. I know. Next day, I need some more Sitka Mountain mimicry. Son of a double XL, that shit'll hem up. It'll fit.
So,
well, I'm glad you guys found it, and seriously, it's been fun. I never thought it would grow like it has.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not taking over Cabela's or nothing, but it's a lot of fun. We have
got a lot of love.
15,
my wife has learned CamoFire more than me because I was working construction, hanging out of buildings. So I'm like, I've never technically made a purchase from CamoFire, but if you look at my wife, she has. Oh yeah, she's on there because I didn't have time.
Dude, that's not the norm.
She would call and be like, "Is this right? It says it's in Realtree." I'm like, dang it. No, honey. I told you Mountain Mimicry.
I bought the Realtree and the Mimicry. If it fit, it fit. Like, I had mismatching camo for years.
I tell you what,
all from CamoFire.
CamoFire, getting poor people into the wilderness since 2007.
we keep having a straight idea. Like, well, your wife's kind of a little not normal.
Yeah.
I should say not. I don't know her personally, but
no, she's not. She lets me in the woods 6 months a year.
She likes Aaron.
But
she can't be normal.
Weird.
No joke. My business partner Mark went into a store, like grocery store there in town, and he. This guy Brian walks up, dude, what's up? How's it going? And they start chatting, and his wife's sitting there, and he goes, this is Mark from CamoFire, and her face went stone cold. She's like, I hate you guys.
Dude, that's
honey, we're out of here. And
all my friends and all their wives, and my wife was like, get rid of that app. Get rid of the app.
Yeah.
We were getting the automatic emails, and cool stuff.
It's fun.
So how did you fall in with this joker here?
I know. So we
guilty by association. Huh?
We launched a website almost 2.5 years ago called Black Ovis, and Black Ovis is a sister site to CamoFire, and it's for all kind of the coolest, latest, and greatest. And that we don't. Most of the stuff there is not discounted because we just simply can't.
It's just a straight up
totally.
outdoor.
Everything except guns, ammos, and bows, and we really specialize in kind of the premier brands from footwear to packs, etc. So. I've been rocking Mountain, the Mystery Ranch Metcalf for about 3 years. Andrew and I connected, not this last fall, but the fall before. We hunted together in Montana, and Mystery Ranch started talking like, "Hey, we're gonna for the first time ever," because they'd always been dealer direct and some military and things. They'd always been talking like, "Hey, maybe at one point we'll do." Like retail, we'll start working with dealers.
Yeah, and that time it was like way down the road. We might possibly do something like this. And we had a kind of a mutual friend, Jay Byer, photographer that's out of Salt Lake City, that had worked with Mystery Ranch for a long time. So we kind of made that connection. And jumped into, well, why don't we talk about this on a backcountry hunt? And brought Kendall in for a quick meeting with my boss, and I'm like, come on, 5 days off. Come on, 5 days off. Just got to get back there and go hunting. So it was during archery season. We snuck off to one of my backcountry honey holes. And
the two of you? Was it just two of you?
And we took Jay as a photographer. Landed a really cool photo in a Sitka ad. But,
that's right, yeah.
But we got back there. It's like a 3,000-foot climb to drop into this basin. And Kendall's like, 3,000 feet. I'm like, yeah, but it's easy. And like halfway up, and Kendall's like, dude, seriously? who are you? And of course, Jay does this as a living, so he's like, come on, fatty, let's go. And we got back in there, and sure enough, weather swept in, and we sat in our tents for like 2 days. So
we saw 2 bulls.
2 bulls and a monster black bear.
Yeah, black bear that was a stud.
Yeah.
But other than that, it pretty much was hike-a-bow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exploring some cool terrain. I mean, I still think about the what if we would have, gone down canyon. And I mean, I love a good sufferfest, but I was like,
yeah,
dude, are you sure there's elk in here?
Yeah.
Like, you really saw some? I mean, we saw some sign. It was a cool time. The exit was.
Do not get this guy around grouse.
Oh,
he
man.
will lose every single one of his arrows. If there's a single grouse,
that's why his stick bow kind of is appealing now.
Dude,
we'll see.
I grouse, and if I haven't shot my bow in like a couple days, or at least got it pulled
Something's
back
gotta
on
die.
enough,
Yeah.
dude, I am gonna kill something. And grouse are just they're too good to pass
burn
up,
through the
so.
arrows. Backcountry hunting.
Man.
So
I swear he has Easton stock.
Yeah.
Well, it helps.
How long have you? How long have you guys known each other then? Like
about 3 years.
3 years.
Couple years.
Yeah.
And when is this going to happen? Where you guys start doing
we launched our new 2016 line here at ATA. We're going to have product actually arriving at dealers. We've got something like 38 dealers, specialty dealers across the West that are going to be stocking our packs start March 1st. So.
And you haven't done that in the past?
No, it's all been direct sales. Our seasonality was basically we're coming out with a new pack and it lands when it lands, and if people are interested, they buy. So,
and why did you make the decision to go through some dealers?
Because we got tired of dealing with this guy. No, we found that our biggest obstacle for people, which is why we go to all these trade shows, biggest obstacle is actually having a hands-on experience and realizing the benefit when it's on your back of a high-quality pack. It's not a claim we're making, but we have to have people experience that instead of
put it on,
proclaiming
to
it.
See,
right?
That if you got something that's worth wearing, that's the best way to test it.
We do the same thing, and it sucks to get somebody to try it to understand, especially if they're dropping $600 to $800 on a pack. It's a problem.
It's a problem for me to sit there and go to want to justify buying it. The price seems outrageous for these upper level packs, and I'm sitting there going, that's a lot of money to spend on one of these things, and without being able to put it on, put weight in it, and walk around with it, it's hard for me to picture what the difference is between that and a pack at half the price.
Yeah.
But once you put it on and you wear it around for 20 minutes and
I tell you what, when you pack out your first animal with a high quality pack, you'll never go back. Never.
And that money is well spent. You don't feel like you made a mistake.
Right.
So I'm just kind of curious, because Kafaru hasn't gone to dealers, and
I might have to work hard if that happens. So I can say that ain't going to happen, because then I'm going to have to actually show up for the other 6 months of the year I'm hunting.
So going to dealers, that's a big change.
Yeah, it is. We changed. We implemented this, I guess, 2 years ago.
Got its pros and cons, right?
It does. We our number one fear is like defacing the brand. Mm-hmm. And that's something we never want to risk. So
what does that mean?
Like, you take a good brand, like a lot of these larger groups, like you take maybe Solid Broadheads as an example. Steve comes up with a great idea. It's implemented well on a small scale. It works great. Big group comes in, picks it up, and they can't get the margin or the markup out of it to get people to buy it. And so they have to either degrade the value or that product doesn't sell and it vanishes from the industry. So So we don't want to do that. We want to maintain value, and we have put a lot of time into this.
Do you think when you do that, you risk some devaluing the product? Like, is it that big box store image? Oh, they've if they're going dealers, then they're going cheaper.
Right. Yeah, and that's
what I'm telling everybody. I'm just kidding.
We're actually pretty good friends.
You and I have always gotten along really well. Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's been people like, you and Andrew don't get along, do you? I'm like, Andrew? Mr. He's cool as shit. What are you talking about? But since a few other things, I think people assume, but I've never you and I've gotten along for 3 years, I guess, is what we've known each
Yeah,
other.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so no, any crap I'm talking is completely.
I don't know how
being
people,
funny.
not everyone is in love with Aaron.
I'm an
and I don't know
American
how they're
treasure.
not like best friends. I don't get it. You got to have a certain.
It's respect. I mean, honestly, we look at our company owners, and you've got Dana Gleason and you've got Patrick Smith.
Yeah,
those two guys are the forefront. We're starting the backpack industry, and they're still here. And you try and deal with 42, 43 years of experience. Maybe a first-year pack brand comes in to try and play with that. You got a lot of learning to do in a very short period of time.
All you got to do is put that
broken
pack
carbon
on with
frames.
a lot of what, Aaron?
Broken carbon frames is what you got.
I don't know. I threw it off the cliff. I cliff tested it. It seemed to work.
Well, here's it, and we talked about this before, and I've talked to Dana and Patrick both, and you got to deal with Dana every day.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny when you come up with, hey, did you see the new company? Did you see this? Tried that 86. It's flawed. Well, do you want to discuss it any further? This may deserve an extra look. We might want to talk about this because with enough marketing, this old antiquated product somebody tried with $1 million in marketing, it may be okay. And I don't know if you've had issues with that with Dana. With Patrick, I'm like, look, we really need you to sit down and listen to what I have to say because it's more now than a solid product. There is plants, there's pro staff, there's marketing.
When you're talking about products and marketing, and you say things about a product, right? This product, it's this awesome, and you say that.
I'll tell you how everyone gets away with it. I'll tell you how every backpack company out there gets away with it at wholesale.
Yeah.
You claim this product is this badass.
Yep.
And 2 to 5% of those users actually use it to its full capacity and find out it's not that badass.
Right.
And those are our customers. Those are Kifaro and Mr. Ranch backpack customers.
Well,
I heard a quote the other day. You can't outfart a skunk.
That was from Kenton from First Light. That's a good one. I'm going to steal that.
I heard that one too.
You can't outfart a skunk. So, I mean, if you're out there like just kind of making stuff up about how awesome it is, it's really hard to compete with that if you want to be as honest as you can or as I don't know, like straightforward, right? It's hard to
because I send business to Andrew occasionally I send business to Andrew.
We kick it back and forth pretty frequently.
Some guys just don't fit in our packs, and they're like, "Well, I'm not going to mention any names, but I've tried thinking. I'm thinking about this."
There's not a podcast where Aaron doesn't say, "I'm not going to mention any names."
It just falls out later,
and then it comes out. It's like I'm not going to spoil the movie, and then he tells you the ending of the movie. It's like, so be careful.
So
I'm not going to mention any names. What we're going to say,
but no, I'm sure they deal with this, but they for marketing see a lot of one pack or one product.
Yeah,
and I'm like, look, okay, I understand you don't like our system. Okay, whatever the case may be. Don't get that pack. I don't care that you don't get our pack, and then I just send them to Andrew because if they buy a pack from Andrew or Mystery Ranch, I don't have to worry about them calling me back or bitching about me on a forum that I was mad they didn't like my pack, so I told them to buy a piece of crap. If I send them to Mystery Ranch, they're not getting a piece of crap.
They're going to be happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What's kind of interesting is the founders or the guys that are running, the founders of your companies started in the outdoor industry and then have gravitated to hunting. I think it's cool that the two of the premier founders of the modern backpack are now in focused on the hunting industry.
Well, and both are making great packs, and that's why it makes it awkward to have you on this podcast.
I do whatever with. I was going to talk to Andrew about going. He's a funny little guy, right? And he doesn't mind. He likes to flick me crap, which is I enjoy.
Yeah.
So I just with Kendall, I just met you for the first time, but it was Ryan Avery had asked Rockslide.
Yeah.
He's like, should we deal with Black Ovis? We always just said CamoFire.
Sure.
Separate.
Yeah, two different sites.
And I'm like, dude, I can tell you one thing I know about the industry. I have never heard hardly anything bad about Kendall. It's got to be a solid decision because we never heard anything bad with it. Ryan's a little. Have you talked to Ryan?
No.
He's a little.
We've chatted just email and phone once.
You should have a solid conversation with him. Because if you think I'm out there, he's going to be a whole new. It's a whole new level with
I've
Ryan.
heard he lives in northern Idaho, so there might be something to that.
Easy. There's an Idaho native here. Easy.
He's like my brother, but he's funny, and he's I just was like, dude. I mean, usually if there's something bad or something, you'll hear about it, and I think you guys still work with him now. I sold my portion, and it was cool to meet you because I didn't, I kind of had an idea who you were, but I didn't ever know what you looked like. So I kept looking at name tags. I'm like, oh, that's him. Got it.
When I first met Kendall, it was at Tamarack.
Yeah, last summer
at the Northwest Mountain Challenge.
Great shoot.
And that was a great time. It was cool. I should have won that shoot.
It's that damn bow you were shooting, I swear.
Yeah, it was only a 50-yard shot.
Dude, really? I was this close, man. I still beat everybody in my group, so that's all that matters. I mean, I beat Anthony. I beat Ben. I mean, I'm only competitive.
Is this admiration?
I need people that are worse than me at things to make me feel good.
Well, let me tell you about his competitive nature. Give you an idea. He hates social media, right?
Hates a strong word.
He strongly dislikes it. Okay, and no matter if I like it or not, I've got to be on to sell product, right?
I like to connect with people and stuff, but social media can seem.
Me telling this story is better than you.
Okay, fine.
He's basically telling me every reason he should not have a Facebook page and Instagram. I'm like, dude, you sound like Patrick, and I'm literally like, look, it's free. You get to kind of tell the story of the Gritty Bowmen, and you guys are Gritty Bowmen listeners, let's say, and you send in a photo, we can show you off, and like 20 minutes, it's stupid. No, I don't like it. Well, then he sees 2 days later Phelps's Instagram page, and he posts
Jason Phelps.
Where do you shoot the elk? And it got like 2,000 likes and Brian,
in like an hour.
He's like, this is the stupidest. I'm competitive. I'm gonna beat Phelps, and now all of a sudden he loves social media. He's that competitive because he wants to beat Jason.
I love Jason, by the way.
Good guy.
I just want to beat him. So I got a long way to go because he is killing that whole Instagram thing. I mean, the guy, he's got that thing nailed. It's fun. It's fun to actually follow him, see his posts, see him grow.
Guys,
cool.
The guys I work with are always like, I'll come back with a picture of some elk I shot or deer, and I'm like, dude, could you at least like get yourself in the picture, or they're coaching me on how to take a good image.
I'm like, we need to get you on the podcast. We need to get you. And you're like, I mean, whatever. I mean, if you want to. I mean, I'm not important. I mean, but sure. I mean, but no. I mean, I don't have to do it. I mean, like, dude, get your butt in the seat and let's do this.
Yeah,
thing.
you physically sat me down. I'm like, okay, fine.
I think it's hardest to find.
That's how I feel though about self promotion.
Exactly. Quality individuals in this industry are modest. And when you jump into social media, you kind of
feel like this self-braggart promoter.
You're kind of pulling apart from being modest and being respectful. And a lot of times you go out there to have that experience in the wilderness.
Yeah.
For that experience. I don't want to show it to everyone because it's more meaningful to me than what I could ever express in a photo or words to them.
That's what I was saying to him. And Aron basically said through the phone, you're an idiot.
Right. Thank you. I'm in that same boat.
He's like, Brian, people... you're not bragging.
Yeah.
People want to connect with you. They want to know what you're doing. They want to be part of it. And he's like, just like you want to be connected to certain people, and I do. I love to see what they've got. I love to see what Aron's doing. And I don't think Aron's bragging or self-promoting when I'm plugging into that because I choose to tune into him. If people don't want to see what Brian Call has, they don't have to connect, right?
Right.
And so it's just I've kind of adjusted that. I don't feel so much like I'm just tooting my own horn all the time anymore.
Well,
I feel like I'm actually sharing.
In some way, it's for me. I'm kind of the newer face of Kafaru, better or worse. So for me, if I had a choice, I would shut it all off because it is kind of time consuming and just go hunting. But it helps tell the story about the product, whether it's a stove, from Primus or MSR or a pack that we make.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to be the point of I've gotten pestered so much about it now. When I don't post it, I get hate mail that I'm not posting. So who is that guy?
This is John Maluziak, Full Draw Film Tour.
Oh, gotcha.
We're here at the ATA
I
show
should probably
in the
know
Mountain
that,
Ops
but I
booth.
don't.
I know. Everyone's putting their hat bill down right now, and we're sitting side by side.
People are walking by.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, dude, I want to thank you guys for coming on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Brian.
They can check out CamoFire, CamoFire.com.
Yep. And then blackovis.com is where we're going to have Mystery Ranch, as well as where everything else we sell. That's kind of the coolest stuff.
All right.
Absolutely.
And Kafaro.net is really cool too.
I'm going to work on Aaron
He's
later.
always a third.
Oh, son of a.
Once Aaron and I, we kind of iron out some things. Maybe I'll arm wrestle him. Well, I'll lose some arm wrestling.
At least you'll try.
Get Kafaru over at Black Ovis.
Well, cool, guys.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, stay gritty.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, gritty friends, I hope you enjoyed that podcast. If you did, please take a moment to leave us a review on iTunes, Podbean, or Stitcher. We love reading your reviews. And connect with us on social media if you're on there. Look us up on Facebook and Instagram, and take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can receive notifications when we upload new videos. We've got a sweet deal with Mountain Ops. You get 20% off on all Mountain Ops supplements, combo packs, and apparel when you type in the word gritty at checkout. If you're a hardcore elk hunter, or you want to be, go to the Elk 101 website online and check them out. Our friend Corey Jacobson is killing it with some of the best elk hunting information and entertainment on the web. If you haven't heard, we're doing a huge gear giveaway to try and grow and expand the gritty community on Facebook and Instagram. I asked a bunch of friends to pitch in on this gear giveaway, and they all came through with some awesome stuff. Our friends at Kafaru, Rockslide, First Light, Phelps Game Calls, One Shot Gear, Mountain Ops, Triple X Archery, Blacktail Outdoors, and Is It September Yet are pitching in some sweet gear for the giveaway. We'll announce all the details in the next few weeks. All you have to do to be entered to win is like our Gritty Bowmen Facebook page and follow us on Instagram. All right, friends, let me leave you with one other quote from Theodore Roosevelt, who said, "It behooves every man to remember that the work of the critic is of altogether secondary importance, and that, in the end, progress is accomplished by the man who does things." We all have a choice. We can be people who do things or people who criticize the work of others. It's pretty simple, really. Get out there and do your thing. Good luck on your hunts, and stay gritty.
This is Ty Stubblefield, and you're listening to the Gritty Bowmen.
Gritty Bowmen.